Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
This is dumb. So stupid. I like the fact that you tried to play us.
That was good.
But please stop. Announce yourself, you dumb fool. No, you lost the right. I am.
This is your friendly neighborhood bearded widow coming at you loud and proud as I always do, and with this magnificence upon my face.
It's clouding your judgment.
And for the whole reason is that for those of you who may have just been popping on or watching this on another day, we attempted to go live, and some sound effects were happening to my voice.
You were tripping on acid.
Oh, it was bad. So when we restarted, because we know that we do have at least one person watching right now, that I figured I'd mess with her.
Check it out.
It worked because she went off a little bit. But I digress. Joke's over. Haha. I just wanted to have a little fun with this one. Anyway, but since you know who I am, do you know who this guy is right here? Do you know who this guy is? This guy right here is my best friend, my compadre, my pastor. He is my confidant. He is the one, the only Pastor Gary Podosek. How are you doing today, brother?
As I said earlier, not too bad.
One.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But it's good. But, the episode name, just quickly give a little bit of a reference. That's why I pulled the mug in nice and close. I'm a big fan of Charlie Brown and Snoopy. And there's a great Halloween episode. Now, I'm not a fan of Halloween, but in the Halloween special, Charlie Brown went trick-or-treating with Linus, and Linus got candy, and good old Chuck got a rock. So our midterm elections, well, we got a rock. That's pretty much the best thing we can say about it.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, there's a lot we can say about it.
Well, we're going to, but
before we get to that, let us also acknowledge the man behind the curtain. Our Wizard of Oz, so to speak.
A rock.
It is our other friend, good friend, and our producer, the
Audio Master.
It is Steve Cattell. How are you doing today, brother?
I am doing fantastic.
You sound better.
Yeah, I'm a lot better from where I was. Still got a little bit going on, but got to go to the doctor for that. But
at least now he can laugh for up to 5 seconds before cough attack.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
before it was one laugh, full cough attack.
I've also been told from the masses that it is a very much faux pas to wear red on a red background. Just stating that right now.
I mean, it's not red.
I mean, it's not red. It's not brick red, but it's
whatever. I mean, he's not wearing a bright green shirt
and on a green screen.
On a green screen,
floating egg.
Well, because if you remember the late and great Queen wore the green dress, and man, oh man, that during her public address, she wore the bright green dress, and man, the internet had fun with that one. Woo! She was wearing all sorts of clothes.
Kool-Aid man over here.
But anyway, as we said, the midterms have come and have gone. I think they're still counting votes in a few places.
Oh, Lord.
Because as it's been coined the phrase, we no longer have election day, we have election season.
Which is a problem. Please understand that's a problem.
As a serious problem. And we could go into full episodes discussing on how that needs to be fixed and why. But I will say one thing. Florida did it right. Why? They have 21 million people. All their votes were counted in one night.
Weird.
7 million people in Arizona, and they just got it done yesterday.
Sounds about right.
Huh?
That sounds about right.
I'd say there's a problem. Big problem. But anyway, there were some pluses and minuses to what has happened in this midterm election. I will say New Jersey shocked me. We got a third district out of all our districts that is now red. I was shocked.
Look, I mean, there's a lot more than just. I mean, that's here. So
we're talking about Jersey.
We can brag a little bit about New Jersey.
Forever, we've had only 2 districts that are red for the longest time. Just 2 districts.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not really a good grade of the because the way things are. Well, but see, here's the thing: you can't. This is the thing, and
2 of them have always been in South Jersey. Now we have 1 in North Jersey. Oh. And for those of you,
are you sure it's not in Middle Jersey?
I will smack you. There is no Middle Jersey. There is no Central Jersey. Never has been.
Why do you think they called it Middle?
This is a Middle Earth. There is no Frodo and Bilbo Baggins.
I don't know. Sauron could be up in North Jersey.
Listen, then here's a way to cut that. There's either Taylor ham or pork roll.
Yes.
There's no middle for that. It's one or the other.
Look, I'm being facetious, but at the same time, here's the thing. Talking about that district, and this is, again, one of...
You really want to make me smack you at the first 5 minutes of the episode.
No, this might make you smack me. But
why is that?
Because we see things like this happen, and so now we got a district that popped up, and it's a little more red than maybe the blue state of New Jersey would like it. So what's probably going to happen next is some gerrymandering. Yay! We're going to recut the pie, make it 20 different 3 shapes, and then we're going to make it look a whole lot different. So that way, they're over there now, kind of in this little pocket, and So it's. I'm happy about a district. I'm not unhappy about it, but there are some bigger W's. And so let's start off. Let's
start with the grand poobah of victories.
No. Let's not start off with the victories. Have you learned nothing about how to deliver news? You do not deliver the bad news last. You deliver the good news last.
No,
that's correct.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You deliver the bad news last.
No.
Get them fired up for revenge.
You got to make a compliment sandwich.
Yes.
Do
good, bad, good. So, but I don't want to start off with really good in this case because there really is only bad and good. There's no 2 goods and a bad. I don't have the second good. It's like, we only have 1 piece of bread and here's the cheese and the bologna. So what do? You put the cheese on one side, the bologna on the other, and you fold it.
No, it's called an open-faced sandwich.
All right. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to start with. Okay, what is going around and what is being fed to everybody and what everybody's picking up, all the information everybody's getting is the red trickle. Okay, that the big red wave.
To see a drop.
The big red wave didn't happen and all that stuff. And what was that based off? Well, you have a Schumer hot mic saying we're going to get killed in the midterms. You have a bunch of pollsters going out and polling, and polls are so rigged it's ridiculous. And 99% of the polls always favor Democrats. So when you see a big red wave, and that's a little odd and peculiar coming from polls, remember, they're all leftist fed poll sources. So
not all,
most of them. Even when they're all trending the same way, it makes you wonder what's the facts and what's the truth in it, or is it just a bunch of copy editing, which is probably what it was, but who knows. But in any case, the red wave didn't happen. And so it seems like you got, president in office, or what do we call him, the former vice president, former vice president, who's in there, who's talking about how, this is a big win for the Democrats and all because the red wave didn't happen. And it's like, well, it didn't happen. So is that a loss? And there were some losses. I think that we can credit a lot of that to bad candidates. There's still a runoff election in Georgia with Warnock and Herschel. And
mind you, both bad candidates.
Mind you, both are terrible. And
one's just a little less terrible.
And you have Fetterman Oz. Look, I'll be the first. I was telling you, I said it before. Oz is not a good candidate.
I didn't think Oz.
I don't like Oz, but I don't like the fact that Fetterman won because Fetterman can't actually speak. He can't think clearly, and it's bad. Like the direction of Pennsylvania from a senatorial position is in the hands of a guy who can't formulate a sentence for longer than 2 seconds.
It's in the hands of
sounds like a president.
For those of you who saw Goonies,
I don't like picking on the guy because it's from a stroke. It's not fair. If he didn't have a stroke, I still wouldn't like the guy, but the difference is the reason why I'm pointing this out is not because the guy is an unlikable or his policies suck. I'm saying the guy should never have been running to begin with.
He actually should still be in a medical facility getting the proper medical care that he needs to get back to 100%. So, and then once at 100%, if he then wanted to run, go for it. I still wouldn't vote for him. But
we don't get to vote for them anyway because it's in Pennsylvania.
I understand whatever. I still wouldn't want him to run. I still wouldn't want him to win. However, it wouldn't be. Those of you who have been watching this podcast for a couple of years know that I've said from the beginning that everything with Joe Biden running for president and becoming president was elder abuse because of his dementia and what he's dealing with, and he should be in a home somewhere enjoying his grandkids until the day that he finally expires.
Well, and again,
no, not Matlock. Is definitely in time for Wapner.
Whatever. Here's the point. So you got a loss with Oz. You have a potential loss with Walker. If he pulls it out, that's cool. I still don't like Herschel Walker as a candidate, but I mean, if the Republicans really, and this would be a vote against Warnock if Herschel Walker won. Like, that's the reason why. It's not because Walker's the better candidate. Warnock is just worse.
Warnock,
and people
tell me you're
realize
a pastor by telling me that Jesus is
he's
a
not. No, he's not. Look,
no, he says he's a pastor.
I don't care.
Head of a church.
Look, people say there are a lot of things. There are a whole movement of people that believe they're unicorns, toasters, and mermaids. I don't really believe anything anybody says anymore as far as what you believe you are. You can't even tell me what's below your waist correctly. So let's stop with the fantasy land. All right, but you have that. Those are pretty bad losses if you take those as losses. You have Kerry Lake losing to Hobbs.
That one stunk.
Here's
I really liked her.
And again, there's a lot of stuff that's not necessarily good about this because yet again, Maricopa County takes forever to get something right, and right out the gate, Maricopa County also has machines that ran out of ink and now can't print ballots, and so a lot of people could not vote in person.
Oh, wait. How about the fact?
That's a little weird.
How about the fact?
Oh, the person. Katie Hobbs is actually the person in charge of running all of this at the time.
Yep.
And didn't recuse herself from that position.
Yep.
Yeah, that's suspect. So anyway, but
very
can't say anything.
Suspect.
Can't say it was wrong or that it wasn't effectively the correct results of the election. We're not saying any of that. I'm just saying that things don't smell right, and so. You have a person. Hold on. You have a person in Kerry Lake.
The only one who can tell what smells right is Joe Biden.
Hold on. You have a person in Kerry Lake whose whole reason why she wanted to win the governor's seat was to make sure that Arizona would actually have their election done on election day.
Well, that wasn't the only reason, but that was one of them.
But I mean, I don't think that's a bad case. So whatever. But that being said, you get, and then you have obviously Masters losing. You have, a few other Senate candidates that I think people were really going to expect to win.
Granted,
New York was a close one. New York was a close one, but again, it's New York. So hey, you know what? Good luck. I think if you run a business in New York, still.
The good thing about New York.
I don't want you to come down. I don't want you to come down to New Jersey, but at the same time, you might have to. Because, I mean, do you want to be robbed every day? Like, I mean, maybe you could take it like once a month, but every day?
As long as they don't steal more than
crime rate's out of control.
Well, they don't, but she doesn't care about crime.
Oh, no, she doesn't.
She doesn't care about crime. And if you elected her and you get robbed, that's like going,
I don't hear you complain.
Well, right. I asked for it. You kind of did. And I don't mean to be mean, but you did. If you had a chance to vote out that person who obviously doesn't care about you in the city or care about the crime problem that's in your state. So I'm sorry.
Say when it comes to New York, they did get a bunch of House of Representatives.
They did. And I think that had a lot to do with I think that had a lot to do with the districts. I think that had a lot to do with a large portion of people.
The more rural districts
that are fed up
with the crap.
That are fed up with stuff. So,
I mean, Ohio, They dug in their heels. They're even deeper red.
You're shifting to the W's. Stop.
I'm
stop.
sick and tired of talking about lefties.
But you can't just go in and flash your flag and go out. Look, you're starting to sound like the USA soccer team. You're going to wear a pride flag on you? Like, you're going to change this thing to a little rainbow color on there?
We don't want to end end this on a bad note.
Right. So the
no,
point,
I want to end this on a note that gets people fired up.
But here's the thing. The point is that you have a president that goes out there and announces all of this stuff and basically kind of snubs his nose at the Republicans. Okay. And I really want to point this out. And the reason why I think this is, you want to talk about being fired up. Joe Biden was elected because he wasn't Trump.
Yep.
That is the reason he was elected. He wasn't elected because he was a better candidate. He wasn't elected semi-pulse.
No, he had a pulse. He doesn't have much brain activity. There's a difference.
All right. So he was elected because he wasn't Trump. And Trump was the great divider of our nation. So that would say that Biden is then what? The great unifier, which is kind of what he was running on, right? How unifying are you when the day after midterm elections happen, you rub it in the face of every Republican in the entire United States of America that they suck, their party sucks, and we're better than you? I'm sorry, that doesn't make me really think that you're a great guy. I honestly think you're a horrible human being. And as far as divisiveness goes, you've brought the most division in this nation ever than any president.
Wait.
And by the way, you have the historically worst numbers. And yet again, by some miraculous chance, you managed to defy the odds and have the least amount of changeover. It's very hard to buy. I'm sorry. It just really is. It's just very, very hard to buy.
The only good thing about the fact that we didn't get the red tsunami, red wedding, whatever it is you want to call it.
I didn't call it any of that.
The only good thing, I know I did, I was hoping. The only good reason for that not happening is in 2 years, when the economy is even worse than it is, and when the economy and this country.
Oh wait, it's going to get worse?
Oh, it's going to get far worse. When gas prices are now $7
You're telling me we're in a recession? I was told by the president we're not in a recession.
In 2 years, we may very well be at the borderlines of a depression. Okay?
Will it be a great one?
The greatest you've ever seen.
I'm telling you, guys, listen, it's going to be a great depression. It's going to be the greatest depression you've ever seen. Just look, you don't have to take my word for it. Google it, okay? Just Google it.
Anyway, it is going to get so bad because if let's just say we won all these supermajorities and we won all these seats. And now you've got all this Republican power in the Senate and the House of Representatives.
They just screw it up.
And in 2 years,
it's really true.
They haven't been able to stop Trump or Biden from doing anything. Then Democrats will spin it that, see, Republicans just made it worse.
Yeah. Well, not just that.
Over the next 2 years, mind you, like my brother here said, you voted for this. You asked for this. When it gets worse, I dare you to vote Democrat again.
Well, they will.
Because at this point, so you have openly stated, we already know that you all think that this country sucks. We're all built on the backs of slaves. We came over and we stole the land from the Indians. No, we conquered them, and that's what you do when you conquer people. You take their land and know they don't get it back, dang nabbit, because it's ours now.
Hey, we were nice.
And we were very nice considering. I mean, maybe not a few years later when we did the whole Trail of Tears. Maybe that wasn't so nice, but when we first came in, I
wasn't there, so I don't know.
We were given blankets. There was treaties.
Smallpox blankets? You're talking about those ones?
That's such a crock of crap. They say all these things, and we already know that you hate this country. But let's put it this way: I dare you to look at your Republican friends and dare once to try to say the Democrats are better, because you are putting this country down into the crapper. Far beyond it ever needs to go. Now, the good thing is because we don't hold the majority in anything, we'll hold a minute majority in the House. We're not in. It's still all Democrat fault.
Well,
and you know what? I've read the end of the book. No matter what we do to make things better, the end of the chapter is the end. The final end is that this world gets destroyed. And it gets worse before it gets better.
Oh, way to bring the doom and gloom stick. Jeez.
Look, it's the facts. However,
I know that, but still.
However, you at least got to fight. Even though you know the ending, doesn't mean you don't actually still fight.
Well, all right.
And doesn't mean you actually act for change.
Here, hold on. Hit the pause button just a second, because you when you're saying about the fault, okay, and look, if you still can't see clearly, and this is what I was saying, that the fault in Democrat electoral position and the fault in the representatives that you pick, okay, well, that's not even just their way of thinking. Their whole premise of policy is bad. Okay, what they believe is government is going to fix and take care of everything. Okay, well, if that's the truth,
why can't they fix a website?
Wait. Do you feel like they're taking care of you? I mean, honestly, just answer that question alone. Do you feel like they're taking care of you at the pump? Do you feel like they're taking care of you at the grocery store? Oh, Joe Biden's going to take care of my student loan debt.
Not wrong, blocked. Again, by a federal judge. You ain't getting tax crap.
It's unconstitutional.
Absolutely unconstitutional.
It's not legal. You're taking taxpayer money to pay for things that is not in their purview. You took on debt. It's yours to pay back. Sorry. Yep. Look, I understand. As a person who understood, you get debt. You get in debt for a lot of things. Look, there's a lot of people right now that have tons of debt. Why? Because everything costs more, and you didn't get more money in your bank account. So you're taking on debt.
Wait. The Democrats, Biden has made sure that those on Social Security
right.
are getting far more than they have in the past.
Look,
you're getting the largest increase ever.
Yeah, because
inflation is that bad, dumbass.
You are out of control.
Well, that just happened.
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, like,
that's been the first time in a long time. But
yeah,
I'm
but
that
still,
fired up.
I know you're fired up. I'm fired up too.
I wanted to go to numbnuts, and it came out the other way.
Look, here's the point. Ready? Again, going back to fault. It's not. There's a couple faults, and I'm going to bring something to the table that we didn't talk about.
The fault is the line that we wish would
No. It's not. Here's the fault. Okay, the real fault. It comes down to candidates.
Conservatives are weak.
No, it comes down to candidates. It comes down to who is running for these positions. Okay, what do I mean? All right, Democrats outclock Republicans in registered voters 2-1, all across the board.
Not so much this year.
No, it's still about 2-1.
Republicans had record
turnout. Yes, because there's still more turnout, but I'm talking about registered voters, people who are registered Democrat, registered Republican, registered Independent. Republicans are outnumbered 2-1 to Democrats. Independents are less than them. So when you break it down across the board, I'm not going by state, average it out across the United States, Democrats outrank us. When it comes to people in the U.S. that are legal registered voters, I'm not talking about the illegal registered voters, because yes, they're all Democrat. But that being said,
wait, what about the
I'm talking about the ones that literally come over and they literally register them as Democrat before they even get them papers.
Wait. What about the ones who are living impaired?
I don't care. What do you mean?
Living impaired.
Stop it. I don't care. I don't care about the homeless people either. I mean, I care about homeless people.
Not the homeless. Living impaired. They have been unalived for a very long time.
Well, they vote Democrat too, but they maybe vote twice. But it depends on what city you're in. But anyway,
Chicago, they vote 4 times.
So listen, I'm not. But this is again, we're bridging this over too far. When you're talking about a line of registered voters, the Republicans are struggling to get people to register to vote. Okay, we had a whole conversation with our brother here to try and he's not registered at all. He doesn't vote.
Well, he couldn't before this election.
Right. But even if he were to go and register to vote now, he could register now and register to vote for 24. Right? He still probably doesn't want to because he doesn't feel like it's necessary or involved. Okay, but here's the point. There's nothing worth registering to vote for.
Correct.
And that's where the problem is. I'm not pointing out on the fact that the Republicans can sit out there and go get the vote, go get them to register, go bring your friend to the polls, go do all this stuff. They did that, right? That's what you're talking about. Don't want to buy the silent majority anymore. Well, yeah, you're right, because it doesn't exist because they're not registering because the candidates suck.
Yep.
Let's go back to our lovely governor race. We both hate Murphy. He's terrible.
Absolutely abhor him.
But But Chattarelli was a terrible Republican candidate. We knew he was a rhino out the gate.
I had more.
We wanted Singh, right? We wanted Hirsch Singh because we believed. I believed Hirsch Singh was an actual Republican who had Republican values, who actually would run policies that are Republican, not rhino policies, which are pretend. Right? They're just pretend. He's not actually a Republican. He's a liberal Republican who's going to put liberal policy out.
No, he's what you would
a moderate.
They would consider a centrist
or moderate Republican.
Okay,
but that's a rhino.
He wasn't even a Republican.
He wasn't.
He was a centrist Democrat because he was center enough. He could pull off.
Because Democrats have become so radical that centralist Democrats or moderate Democrats, like a Kristen Sinema, like a Joe Manchin, are considered Republicans. Right? Even in their own party. So hear me out. When we don't have good candidates, there's not going to be a surge of registering voters for Republicans because they're not going Republicans. People, I shouldn't say. I will say this. Sorry. I'm going to scratch. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say conservative. I'm not going to say Republican. I'm going to say people who have a smart, intelligent head on their shoulders who recognize that this world is screwed up because of the other party. I'm not saying that they're voting Republican, Independent, Green Party, Tea Party, you name it, whatever. They've all been there. I know people that have voted for all those parties because they didn't like the Republicans either because the Republicans were like a Mitch McConnell. We know who he is. We don't care. So here's the point.
Worst enemy of the Republicans.
So he's bought by China. So anyway.
Bought by China and a lot of other things.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the catch. If we want to get more people to register Republican, I am challenging the real candidates to start putting up. You need to get up. You need to get out of your seat. You need to run good campaigns. You need to finance your campaigns. You need to put your name out there. You need to grassroots it. You need to do your best. And I'm going to tell you, you want to see the proof in the pudding? Go look at the candidates that did win. Look at who almost won in New York, period.
Right? First would have been the first governor in 100 years.
And now mind you, bad Democrat candidate.
No.
Terrible Democrat candidate.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Horrible. Just severely horrible.
There's not words that go that far into how ridiculously horrible she is.
But he ran such a good race.
A name that sounds like you're hawking a loogie. Oh.
Okay. Ran such a good race. Ran a fantastic race. Didn't win because, unfortunately, New York is New York. Very Democrat state. But
the state itself is actually very not.
But more people. But here's the catch:
the major cities were majorly blue.
Here's the point,
and they have the most people.
But this is the point: the reason why he lost was because he swung the independents, but there wasn't enough registered Republican voters or independent voters to take him over the mark. There are just too many Democrats in the state.
Yeah, see, and me, from my point of view, from the non-voters' point of view, if you really want to get somebody like me to actually get up and vote, I'd hate to say it, but you kind of need to be a little bit more like Trump. You need to be somebody who's not a.
You might be registering to vote for Ron DeSantis.
Yeah,
because I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but
Trump has passed his time.
Trump.
No, I understand, but
Trump's only 2 years younger than Biden. Okay, right, so he's only 2 years. I think he's 2 years younger than Biden. He's 2 years younger than Biden, 2 or 3 years younger than Biden. But by the time that 24 election comes up, he's going to be in an age area where I'm not saying he's not still sharp or he doesn't still have his wits, but we can't sit there and continue to elect these really old guys in the office when you have a country that needs some new, fresh ideas.
Also the fact, and this is the way I look at it, Kayleigh
McEnany. You cannot say her name for the life of you. Kayleigh McEnany.
The day after
best press.
No, you can't do it.
I can't say it. I'm saying press secretary, and that's not the correct word. Best press secretary. That is a real bad slip. I apologize.
Anyway, the day either the day after or a couple days after the election day, the actual day, when they announced that there was going to be a runoff for Georgia, she actually came out and said Trump needs to stay home. We don't need him in Georgia. Right. We need DeSantis in Georgia to help. And also, she said that Trump needs to wait until after the Georgia runoff to say whether or not he was going to run for president.
Well, that didn't happen.
Well,
he was supposed to make it today. I didn't see if he did.
See, I don't want, and I think a lot of people in my position are in the same way that we don't want career politicians. We've seen career politicians.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
We don't like them. That's why we don't vote.
DeSantis isn't a career politician.
Right, and
technically,
that's
he
what
is.
I'm saying. Like,
Well,
we need more people like that.
He's been in the Senate, then he went back and became governor. So technically, by all definitions, he would be considered a career.
But we need people who don't act like career.
But what it is that he's anti-government establishment.
Yeah,
right.
That's where the difference is.
Yeah.
What you need is a real person who knows that what they're doing is a job. It's not who they are.
Yeah, and don't make promises like nonstop, like I'm going to lower taxes or I'm going to do. No, just say, hey, listen, this is what's wrong with the country, and this is what I would like to improve on. I'm not going to make radical things.
That's what DeSantis said when he was running, and even in his speech, his victory speech, was that this isn't about building Republican base. This isn't about turning Florida into a Republican state. This is about building to a future, and this is the future that Florida wants, and this is what we need, and we're going to go there. That's what he said. Now, by saying future, he's not saying specifics that we're going to do this, and this, but he's saying we have a goal. And we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. He's not making promises.
Right.
And so many people think you need to make promises.
No,
what you need to do is say, is to have this is the goal we need to get to.
Right.
And we are going to work together as a state to get there.
Yeah. And like one of my favorite guys ever, which if he ever ran for president, I would sign up to vote today, is Sheriff Grady Judd in Polk County, Florida.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who he is, look him up. He is fantastic.
If you break into somebody's house, you're going to get shot. That's just what it's going to be. When he said that flat out,
he was like, "If you shoot one bullet at my officers, we're going to unload all of our guns." And it's like, and see, my point is like, we need somebody real like that, somebody who's not afraid to say what they mean.
Here's the thing. There's two issues with what you're saying. Okay. Issue number one, coming from a person who, and I will say this, I don't care if people know, but before Trump even announced he was running in the previous election, right, or the one he won presidency,
right,
2016, before he even announced that he was running, there were like these murmurs and rumors about him possibly throwing his name in the hat. I turned around and I was like, you know what? I bet you he runs. And I would vote for him. And the reason why is because he is not part of the machine.
Yep, he's not part of the swamp. He's not part of the swamp.
And the problem is that everybody who was already announcing their hat has been nothing but career politician.
Right.
Except for like one other person. And that other person was the only other candidate on there that I thought was actually pretty good, but I knew he wasn't going to win because he was way too quiet, and
that's who I wanted to vote for.
That was the surgeon, the brain surgeon.
He's pediatric brain surgeon.
Yeah, really cool guy.
He ended up making him the head of
surgeon
HUD.
general or something.
No, he made him the head of HUD.
That's it. Yeah. So anyway, but once Trump was officially there, and I knew that Trump was going to be a running candidate, the reason why, Trump won was because he was polarizing and he was against the swamp. That's really what you're talking about, the swamp.
Well, at that point, everybody had it. The problem is
he's well spoken too,
right? Which isn't bad, but we've had well spoken presidents, but they're also part of the swamp, and they were part of the problem.
Was very well spoken.
That doesn't matter. Look. But here's the thing: we don't need to talk about who's well spoken because well spoken doesn't matter here. What did matter, and this was what Trump
actually did what he said he was going to do.
Well, Trump did, but he also did it very aggressively.
Yep.
Okay, and here's what we learned.
Republicans for so long have been like, we're above the game. We're above the mudslinging. We're going to keep our head down. We're going to focus on the facts, and we're going to run on that, and we're going to win.
But this is where...
And the reality is when your enemy is playing dirty pool or playing Bush League tactics, you can be following all the rules all you want, but if the enemy is not, or if the opponent is not playing by the rules, your rules mean nothing.
This is the point, right? Okay. Bringing back to your original statements. Trump, was polarizing all these things, and now here was the biggest issue. he spurred people. And although that looks good on TV and it's entertaining, it's not productive in politics.
No.
What you created is a bunch of enemies, both on the Republican side and the Democrat side.
Yep.
And so it became impossible for him to do anything. And that's really marginally why he started off. If you look, everybody looks and goes, oh, he had 3 really good years, but then the COVID year doesn't count. And I'm like, yeah, but
he had 3 years of fighting.
He had
hard.
3 years of having to fight for every inch he got.
Everything he
did. Because Republicans were fighting.
And again, and he was also he had to do a lot of things through executive orders and all this stuff. And that's sadly why once Biden got in office, a lot of Trump policy went down the drain because it was only done in executive order. It wasn't done through the House. And because of that, you don't have legislative power. You lose a lot of that power once you leave office. Yep. And that's going to happen to Biden too. Just so you're clear, a lot of the crap Biden did, he did through executive orders, especially through COVID emergency executive orders. And all that's going to get erased by the next president. So it doesn't really make a difference. But that's
unless it's
the crap that got legislated is basically the half of the Green New Deal.
Well, no. What I mean is, unless it's
no, it isn't the Green New Deal. Unless Build Back Better Plan, whatever.
What are you pointing at?
Oh, the videos. Yeah. We'll get to that.
Unless don't forget about it.
No, I want to finish answering your question because then we can get right to that.
Gavin Newsom running. Mr. I'm pro 14-year-old dating a 24-year-old.
You bring up stuff I don't even care about.
No, but he's who they're
they can bring up who, it doesn't matter. They can run Hillary.
They're not good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, because then more people are just going to end up dead. Look, I'm not saying that she's the one doing it. I'm just saying, statistically speaking, there's some pretty bad connections.
A lot of people around the Clintons seem to.
I still love Norm Macdonald's. I still love Norm Macdonald's quote. No, Norm Macdonald's quote. I think it was on The View. He was like literally, Clinton killed a guy.
Back at the time of Barbara Water.
Yeah. Clinton killed a guy. I still love that. That is
he's
just
like,
no. Seriously, it's true. But
he's got a list.
Listen, but back to your point. This is where I think the issue is that somebody that is out of the system, right, or as you would say, is not grounded in politics, right? They're going to come into pretty much an automatic hostile environment. And this is where I go, the issue is not, the changeover is not those types of candidates, although there needs to be some of them. And I think they'll start showing up more and more. I think Trump was a gateway to seeing more of this enacted, but it needs to be coming in the right way. What do I mean?
So maybe like a VP or something like
that?
No,
they need to come in through the Senate. They need to come in through the House. These guys need to come in through the House and the Senate. And so one of the biggest issues that we have is there's no term limits, right? So how do you get career politicians? You get people that can literally live off of the taxpayer dollar being a politician their entire life. My theory on this is that we need guys who come in, they're younger, they have those types of things coming into the House or into the Senate roles, right? Like a Herschel Walker. He's a prime example of that.
That's a bad example.
Well, no, I mean, he's an example of this exact thing, though. He's an example of a guy who's not necessarily he's not grounded in politics. No, you know what I mean? No. He's not a politician by trade or anything like that. And so he him getting into the Senate, he's kind of going to learn on the ropes. He's going to vote Republican because that's what he's going to be running as. So he's kind of like he's just going along with it, but he's going to learn on this. He's going to learn while he's in office. But he's not a guy like Trump who's going in and he's trying to like infight and expose things and do this stuff. He's got to kind of learn alongside of people.
He's got to learn the game.
But here's the catch. This is the point, right? Go back to my previous statement. Right. Better candidates, right?
Yes.
People that want to run for these offices that are electable, that have the values, that are on the same side of thinking that you are on, right? Or that a good portion of American citizens are on, right? And are on an anti-establishment position.
Should be.
What is going to happen? So if we elect more of these types of people into office, let's say the House, and more of those representatives fill the House, you're going to have a majority of people in the House that go, you know what we need to do? We need to put term limits here. We need to break the swamp. The swamp has to die. You can't drain. You can't. It's same place. Both. I'm talking House and Senate. But what I'm saying is,
the Senate is the one that would choose the term.
I understand they're not going to stop it, but it's got to go in both places. What I'm saying is, the House and the Senate both have to start working this out to the point where we get a large majority of people in there that have the mentality of thought that goes, we can't continue running this thing the way we run it. We need to drain the swamp. And everybody agrees that the swamp gets drained. That's how the swamp gets drained. You can't go in doing what Trump was, which basically was, I'm coming in with a flamethrower and I'm just going to torch all you guys. And I'm going to call for impeachments left and right. It's like, it's great, but you can't go and throw impeachment papers out at every Senate representative that you think is part of a swamp. It's not going to happen. Well, I mean, these guys are going to resign. These guys are going to resign because you say, oh, yeah, he's a horrible guy. He needs to go. Like, that isn't going to get anybody to leave. You just pissed them off.
But I will say this.
That doesn't work.
Just to give you a little precursor of if we don't change things, like my brother here is saying. I got a little clip to show you. Just so you know, this is what you're voting for.
This is why he cursed everybody.
Yeah, this is what I'm voting for. This video clip.
No, you didn't vote for this. Whoa.
Oh, no, sorry.
Did you vote for this?
Sorry, I'm brain farting here.
Did you vote for this?
No, I did not vote for it.
Are you sure you did?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Are you positive?
I sadly voted for
Was your
Van
vote
Drew.
changed in the machine after you casted it? Then you possibly did vote for it. I want to register.
Anyway, no, this is what they had voted for. This is what, if we continue on, this is what's going to continue to get worse. Okay, this video clip is of a high school teacher. We want to first thank Sarah Gonzales, who put this video up, she got this clip, put it up on the news and why it matters. I screen grabbed the clip, and here it is. But this is
based on what we do.
Sorry.
Based on what we do.
Okay. Go ahead. So it's a high school teacher.
This is a high school teacher who does what she's about to talk about. She teaches as a class in a high school as an elective. You tell me how you feel about this.
Based on what we do and how we do it around porn literacy, that porn can be good if sex ed is good. There's a difference between media and sex ed. Porn is not sex ed. Sex ed can include topics around a variety of things like music and around film and around commercials and how gender stereotypes are perpetuated. But these two things are not synonymous. And when, people are just saying we need to just ban porn and it's always bad and it leads to addiction, these are very big generalized statements that people are making. It's about managing. It's about understanding and being literate. It's about being more aware of the beautiful ways that porn was invented to be this fantastical, wildly unrealistic tool we can use to explore our emotions and our bodies in ways that aren't represented in mainstream media.
Did she just take public speaking classes from Alexandria?
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, that is what is coming. More of that. Okay, remember we said.
Please don't ask for my opinion on this.
Remember, there's that G word that normally you would do this to your pets. Now you're not allowed to say it because it's being mean to people. But this is what they do to get kids of all ages to warp their mind so that maps can come in and do whatever they want to them.
Yeah, we could say brainwashing. I mean, that's fine.
Oh, it's deep, dark brainwashing at this point.
Absolutely.
And by allowing Democrats and liberals or even rhinos who believe who believe in this crap, by voting them in and by not standing for conservatives and those with actual values and actual morals, this is only good. You think this is bad? This is bad. And remember, Swalwell said that what is this? Parents think that they can say what their kids are being taught. What's next?
He's being told to tell that by a Chinese prostitute spy.
A patient telling a doctor what surgery they're going to have, or a client telling a lawyer what they're going to do. Well, yeah, I'm paying your bill. You're going to do what the heck I tell you to do.
Look. Calm down, Sparky. Here's the So 2 things. First thing is, I am very much aware that this is not a outpouring of this mentality. Like, you have a clip of a person who's saying this. Obviously, yeah, there's probably a wide swath of people, even in both parties, that are probably like, excuse me, what? But here's the other point.
There's still a lot of people she's teaching.
One is bad enough.
Yeah, right?
If she's the only one in the entire United States of America, in some state, teaching in one high school of maybe 50 kids,
that's too much.
Yeah.
That's still really wrong and screwed up and bad.
And that'll be for the next year.
And hold on, wait. But there's damage that will be done that is irreparable.
Yeah,
irreparable. Cannot be fixed. Will not be fixed at all. Oh, and by the way, kudos to the Christian kid who's in the class who decides, I'm not watching this garbage, and walks out, but somehow gets a F in detention for it.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Because you know it's going to happen.
Is that okay? Is that allowed? Is that acceptable?
Now, the good thing is that kid that's a Christian will probably not be in that class, because if you watch the rest of the clip, they make it known that it's an elective. So that it's not a required class.
Right.
Man.
But yeah, there's a bunch.
Still.
But see, here's the other thing too. You were saying that, it's probably just a one-off thing.
I'm sure they labeled that. I'm sure they labeled that elective really well too, right? Did they just put that right in the title? Because if they did, okay, I mean, good for you. You're honest at least. But how long do you think that's going to stay up?
Well, no. Well, I mean,
next time they'll change it because the elective gets maybe 2 students in it. So they're like, oh, we need to get more students in here. Let's change the name of it. Oh, discovering your body and emotions. Oh, that seems like a good one. Porn. It's just porn. That's all.
That's the thing is she says is that you need porn to be taught porn in school. Now, mind you, the name of her class, gotta love the way, porn literacy.
That's the name of the class. Yeah,
wow.
That's why I said it. If they change the name of it, then they'll get more students to sign up for it.
So the other thing was, as I was saying, is that statistically speaking, there's definitely not just her doing this type of
most likely not. But I'm trying. What I'm trying to do is diffuse the immediate the atom bomb that comes out that goes, oh yeah, you're just taking one video and blowing out of proportion. Well, yeah, but isn't one bad enough?
One is too much.
One's bad enough.
This is where we need to get to the good news. This is where we need to get to the good news of what happened during the midterms.
Yep.
This is where we need to get into the good news. Let's just count off some good news. Now, DeSantis, not only did he wins by 20 points, which is absolutely unheard of in Florida history.
Florida is now a deep red state.
Now they're deep red. The other deep red states are, thank you, Texas, for holding out Beto.
There was no chance.
I know. He's once, twice, 3 times a loser.
And Abbott's first role of duty as new governor, again, what's he do? Sends them up to PA. He sent a bus of migrants up to Philadelphia.
Right.
How great is that? Welcome, Fetterman.
You're welcome.
Here's your first gift from Abbott.
You know what he'll say? Hey, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Iowa has now been deep redded. Ohio has been deep redded.
Yeah, that was deep red when Trump was elected.
No, it's even more so now.
Well, I mean,
we have different bastions of red that have gotten even deeper.
And some that went more blue.
Some went more blue.
Deep blue.
Some have become even more purple.
Although California got some weird red spots in it. And
yeah, they did.
New York got some red spots in it.
New York got a lot of red districts.
Like we said, Jersey picked up one. So,
but my brother here, there's another person that we like. I watch a lot of stuff with Blaze, but I also watch clips from another man by the name of Dan Bongino. And though I am one person that I'm absolutely livid on the way things went, because now, in my opinion, this whole silent majority that everybody was talking about, it's a myth. It doesn't exist. Those who are for the cause and the ideas of being a conservative and a Christian and American patriot, all they did was dig their heels even deeper. And then so did the Democrats. The only good thing is that now there are more Latino votes coming our way, and Cuban, and not just. And when you say Latino, there's not, they don't. They're just like with Asian, you don't fit everybody into one. That's the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, the Cubans, the
Venezuelans. No, they're not allowed in here.
They've been getting here.
Yeah, but they're not allowed.
No, they're just not allowed to vote because they.
No, I'm telling you, literally, Joe Biden straight up said they're not allowed in.
Oh yeah,
they're the rest of the ones that come over illegally are fine, but it's not Venezuela. Yeah, could you imagine? Hold on. Could you imagine, just for a real brief second,
after what they've
you illegally come into this country, they catch you at the border, and they say, "Excuse me, what's your country of origin?" Oh, me. I'm from Mexico. Okay, go ahead. You can keep going. You, sir, where are you from? I'm from Cuba. Okay, you can keep going. How about you? I'm from Venezuela. Go back. What? Why did you let those two guys in? I'm sorry, we just can't let Venezuelans in.
No. The reason the reason why they don't want to let Venezuelans in is because Venezuelans know what it's like in this lifetime to see a country be absolutely destroyed by socialistic policies.
That is correct.
And if they came into this country, they would be the biggest proponent
of Republicanism.
Of Republicans, and they would fight it so badly. And they would turn other Latinos.
Because Venezuela was literally destroyed by communism.
Oh yeah, right.
Completely destroyed by communism.
So we've had a lot of good things. We watched Dan Bongino. Like I said, I've been angry about what happened. I have my opinions. I believe that there's a course that needs to go on. My brother here knows that I'm doing research because there may be some announcements that I may be making in the future. I don't know yet. I'm looking into things right at this point.
What could it be?
And we could see what God wants to do with it. But I'm not going to go anywhere without first knowing where God is going. And I've already gotten the first confirmation that it is a yes, just not as to where yet. That being said, Dan Bongino, he was one that was always against the terminology of the red wave. He didn't want to buy into it. And what he has to say, I have to agree with him. I agree with him on it to a point, not entirely.
I'm shocked. I thought you would have agreed more.
No, because I don't agree that that's enough.
All right.
His comment of saying then that's enough, then I'm fine with it. I don't agree with that point, but I do agree with his that this is one very.
He didn't say it's enough, but you'll
understand. That he's happy with it.
No, he's not happy. You'll listen to it. Yeah, just listen to the clip.
I don't agree entirely, but I agree with it. I agree with the center part of it. So just listen to what Dan Bongino has to say.
This weekend, Democrats are out there crowing, "Oh, look, abortion did it." Okay, maybe it did. I believe in defending babies in the womb from being decapitated and destroyed. And you know what? Years and years of work to get a constitutional, liberty-loving Supreme Court that defends life threw Roe v. Wade in the garbage. And if that means a push in the House, a win in the House, a push in the Senate, control of a lot of school boards, a wipeout for the Democrats in North Carolina and Florida, then you're damn right I'll take it. You're damn right I'll take it.
Look, my point on this and bringing this in is it's easy to get wrapped up in the numbers game and the us versus them.
And the conservative nerd in me loves the numbers.
Okay. And there's a point to it, right? But the way our whole democracy was designed. This is the Democrat. Stop. I understand we're a republic. I'm talking about the democratic republic. The democratic process, the democracy of electing officials into these groups of offices, the way it's set up. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not them calling it only a democracy. Everything is a democracy. No, it's not. We're a republic. That being said, the democratic part of it, okay, the democracy of electing officials in office and balance of power is key. We have enough to control the House. It doesn't need to be by a super majority. It doesn't need to be, but it doesn't make a difference. My point is, it doesn't make a difference. What it does is it makes it easier, But it doesn't make a difference. The reality of it is that everybody in that place should be thinking what's best for the nation, what's best for the people of this country. Go to the other side, the Senate. He's a push. Okay, well, it's maybe not. It's actually going to probably end up being 51, 49. 51-49.
Which basically puts us in the same position we were because with Kamala Harris having
she just had but then it had to be for budgetary reasons, which they always flop that around anyway. So it doesn't make a difference.
They had the bacon on the back end.
But here's the thing. Okay. Regardless of what the Senate ends up being, still the same point. What happened if it's a knock against republicanism that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of removing Roe v. Wade, which, by the way, as we've talked before here, doesn't mean, abortions are banned. No. If you're still a blue state, they're probably not. And they're probably still up to and including birth in some cases.
Yep.
Which is still an atrocity to me.
Yep.
But that doesn't matter. The law and our Constitution says the states can govern them how they see fit. And if the state decides that's how they want to regulate abortion or not regulate abortion, that's up to the state. And if you don't like that, guess what you can do?
You can either leave or you vote in the politician that'll put in the laws you want.
One or the other. But here goes back. I agree with him. If the mass amount of people who decided to vote for these horrible Democrats because they believe some stupid, dumb lie that was fed to them from an idiot in office who doesn't know how to rub two brain cells together to get a sentence out straight, but knows how to say abortion. Okay, that guy can go out there and tell everybody that that's the reason why Democrats won, is because they believe that the women's rights are more important than anything else. Well, that's not true, because everybody in the entire United States of America unanimously agree that the most important thing right now is the economy. It isn't
jobs.
It isn't abortions, because they know it's done. And there's nothing, and I'm going to say this here, nothing that he can do.
Nope.
Unless he's unconstitutionally going to write a law that is going to go against the Supreme Court ruling. Oh, and by the way, guess what will happen? Thanks for playing. Nope, that doesn't pass. So guess what? It's
but they'll
done.
Keep trying it. See, that's
they're
part of
going to keep trying. But here's the point. This is it. This is the key. I agree with Dan Bongino, and this is the point. What he said. I know you said you don't agree with it. I'm not saying it's not enough. Entirely. And I'm not saying we don't still go out and fight. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But this election's over.
Yes.
And if the reason why
and we get about
the results, if the reason why the results of this election are the way they are because Roe v. Wade was thrown in the dumpster fire it should have never come out of to begin with, and now more babies will be saved because of it, then guess what? I am absolutely okay with the results.
Yep.
I am okay with that because you know what? The House still will be in the control of the Republicans. That means the leading will stop.
It'll slow. It won't stop.
Oh, it'll stop.
Slow.
It'll stop. It'll stop. But we can't go through and do a whole bunch of dynamic changes. No, we're not going to be able to go ahead and get Hunter prosecuted. And no, we're not going to be able to have Joe Biden impeached and whatever.
We're going to do that for him.
Maybe. But here's the point. The point is that we got 2 more years. And so, like you already said, and if this is key, now you are all going to get to feel the pain, the complete and utter pain of a full 4 years of a bad presidency with bad governors and bad Democrat politicians, and you can't blame us. Nope. You won't be able to blame the red guys.
Because normally in a case like this, like
it's not going to be because of us.
Like what happened with Obama, like what even happened to Trump, usually in a midterm election, it flips to the opposite side of the president in at least the House or the Senate, if not both. And usually what ends up happening is after 2 years, when they got to redo the House again, they start blaming the opposite party because, oh, well, look, you voted them in and they didn't do anything. They didn't change anything. They weren't able to get, it's their fault. See, it wasn't us. Now you can't do that because in 2 years, over the next 2 years, you get to eat all the crow you want and you get to enjoy it. Granted, we're going to hurt too. The rest of us, God-fearing, conservative, just patriotic Americans are going to have to deal with it too. But the difference is we don't look for a handout from the government. We go to our God to pray, and we lean on our brothers and sisters.
And we work hard.
And we work hard. We got no problem working hard.
Right.
And that is what we do. And speaking of working hard, in 2 weeks of the next episode, we have somebody coming in whom I love very much as our first guest ever.
Yay.
Okay? Whom I love, who worked very hard for 2 years?
Roughly. About that.
About 2 years to write a book. Now, I haven't read it yet, but I've been told I'm going to get it.
I've only read 4 chapters.
I'm going to be able to get to
really
read
good 4
it
chapters
over the next 2 weeks. But I already know enough about this book that it's going to be fantastic. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is. You're going to have to tune your butt in here in 2 weeks to see our first guest. But know this. She's a Christian. She's somebody I consider to be a sister, who has been a sister of mine since I was 17 years old. And I am very happy to bring her on here to talk about her book and to, in my opinion, because I love my sister and I want to see her do great and amazing things with this book series that she started. We want to jump on this first as the first internet,
social media,
whatever, to bring this out. Okay? Because I want to see her succeed, and I believe in what she's doing, and she's an awesome, awesome person. Granted, I will tell you, it's a fictional book. And believe it or not, I never thought she'd write fiction. I really never thought she'd write fiction. I thought she'd write some great epiphany that she learned from God and come out with some scriptural exhortation on paper.
Can I give you a little bit of a review of a person who's read the book?
What, your mom's review?
Yes. So my mom has read the book and reviewed it, and her review, she says that she reminds her of a young Stephen King. Now, mind you, this is not a horror book.
No.
Not a horror book.
I will tell you this,
but that's a high praise. Not the current Stephen King.
No. I will tell you this. Younger. I know a lot of the research that she did in order to write this book.
Yeah.
I also know that she's probably had to wipe her browser history about 100 different times. Because in order to because she really wanted to get this right. By the time we do the next episode, I will have been able to have read some, if not all, of this book by then. I have been told that I will be privy
22 chapters. Good luck.
To a digital copy. Oh, you
I'm just saying, good luck.
You underestimate me.
Good luck.
Just because it took me 2 weeks to go through the Bonhoeffer biography, okay, and even then I was listening to it.
Just saying, good luck.
So that is what's going on. First ever. It is a church and state first.
Cool.
We are going to have another box on this screen with a guest, and it's going to be somebody very important to me. So y'all need to tune in.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. That'll be what? The 29th of November. Yeah, I did the math right. Yep. 29th of November. And that is one of 2 we have 2 more episodes for this season. And then we are out for Christmas and come back in season 4. So thank you for joining us on the Corner of Church and State. It ain't all bad and it ain't all good. But at least here at this corner, there is no separation. And we stand together, and we're going to keep on going. So we thank you for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks on this stoop. Y'all have a good one. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Subscribe, share, hit the like button, pound that fist for the rumble button. Get it all out there. Get the word out, please. For 2 weeks, what's coming up? Talk on Twitter. And my brother over here, if you want to talk to get a hold of him.
I am on Twitter.
He is on Twitter.
I am. I just
forget Twitter. Go into the link tree. No. Go into the link tree that's in the thing. Go to the church. Go to the Streams of Life website.
Yep.
You can email him through there,
or just listen,
or you can listen to his sermons.
Where you can find us.
I will warn you though. The last couple of weeks, if you don't have thick skin, I would say start elsewhere.
Look, somebody came up to me and literally was like, "Can you please? Can you stop? Just stop! Enough already."
Okay, that's enough slices. So listen to past week's sermons, and if you happen to be in the great,
stop. Rewind.
Okay.
You happen to be in the Garden State.
If you happen to be in the better part of the Garden State, which is Southern Jersey, if you happen to be in Southern Jersey on a Sunday around 10 o'clock in the morning, you can look up the address on the website and you can come out and you can worship with us at Streams of Life. We would love to have you. We'd love to worship with you.
Yep.
And welcome you with open arms. And that would be awesome. So, yeah, do that. Just like I said, for his last couple sermons, thick skin, please. Thick
it's all
skin.
truth. It's
Also,
not me.
one last
truth,
note we keep forgetting as well. All prayers are welcomed.
Yes.
Anytime you need a prayer, someone to reach out to,
fill it in the comments.
Fill it in the comments, throw it down, and we'll be there to listen and to help pray.
Yes.
Whatever else we can do. That
And
is a major part of what we do here.
And if you have any ideas, because like I said, we're coming up to the end of the season. So in a few months, usually the month after Christmas, in the month of January, we have a sit down and we talk about what things we would like to talk about in the next year. If you have any ideas for that, we're always looking for other ideas.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The email is in there, the Church of State Podcast email. Comment on comment here, comment on Twitter. Go look at it. We got a Facebook group where you can talk to all of us and everybody else who's listening. These are the avenues that we would love to hear from you.
Look, I'm just saying, if the way things look like they're going to be going, we could be doing a lot of – we could just make a whole season of nothing but picking on the president and his gaffes. We could be like the comic series.
Well, no, we'd
be funnier than SNL. That's for sure.
Actually, I heard
long.
that they did a very funny horror movie spoof about Democrats coming to the realization that they have to vote for Biden in 2024.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that one, too.
I heard it was absolutely hilarious.
But
anyway, that's the end of it. So now that you know where to go to reach us.
Subscribe, like, smash the rumble, hit all the bells and all the stuff, yeah.
And we will see you back here in 2 weeks. Same bad time, same bad channel, on the same stoop of the corner of Church and State, where there is no separation. Peace.
God bless.
America, it's freedom ain't free in America. Got soldiers dying overseas, so America, you say what we believe, my America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
It's only that final chorus.